This is called What Gets Me Through a Sleepless Night. It's often the brightest star that I see through my window in the lost hours after midnight that gives me the comfort I need. I've got no clue to its name, Venus or Mars or maybe Saturn. That bright point of light has helped to dispel the deep gloom of many sleepless nights. Or maybe it's the warm thought of a friend's kind words spoken to me that day, or the cheer of the chickadee's song that I heard at the dark end of evening just before night covered the sky. This is called The Ridiculous in Nature. And this came about many years ago one summer when I was standing on my porch at my family's home. And out of nowhere came this hummingbird to perch in the tree on a limb. And I thought the difference in size was just so, ridiculous that it just struck me to write a poem about it. So here it is, The Ridiculous in Nature. Platypus is one example. But now it's the hummingbird perched among the pink blossoms of the flowering cherry tree who looks so ludicrous. Why is he so still? Is it simply to rest? Or perhaps a better guess? He's waiting until some master of the scroll strolls by to stop and paint his portrait. It's strange how some ideas stay with you and others don't. This is a serious poem. I was fortunate to go to New York City for the first time. Not for the first time, I'd been there before, just passing through on the bus. This time I stayed for a few days and just to go do some sightseeing. And two of the places I visited were Strawberry Fields in Central Park, Memorial to John Lennon. And the other spot was the Dakota Hotel, where of course John lived his last years of his life and where sadly he was murdered on December 8th, 1980. So I stood outside across the street and my friend pointed out the location, the entrance where John walked that night when his life was taken. And after, when I got home, I wrote this poem. So this is outside the Dakota for John Lennon. My friend points across the street to the hotel where John took his last walk on that fatal December night. I lift my camera to take a photo, but will not here. Staring at the spot where he was shot brings back the nightmare. Grief overwhelms me at the thought of John staggering forward and then slumping to his death on the cold, hard pavement before he could reach the entrance door. I turn my back on the scene, walk away with my head down. The city night is busy with noise, but I don't hear a sound. Okay, now here's a little humor. I know probably just about everybody in this room is probably a Red Sox fan, hopefully. And we all know how disappointed we were in this season. So here's a little something to cheer you up. It's called A Red Sox Moment. It's the bottom of the ninth with the score tied. At the plate stands Big Poppy with fire in his eyes. A swing of his bat sends the ball sailing high, like a rocket that shoots swiftly through the sky. The fans are on their feet to watch it soar. As it hits the bleachers, they all begin to roar. This is what they have all been hoping for. A home run by Poppy wins the game once more. This is one called The Facebook Blues. And some friends of mine seem to think that I'm the speaker in this poem, when I imagine someone who somehow got on Facebook and really doesn't know what they're doing there. So this is about them. Think of somebody like that. The Facebook Blues. I seldom click on like, comment, or share, because most of the time I don't really care. If you farm, bejewel, or whatever, please be gone. Don't look for me on chat, because I'm never on. I must admit that my friends are very few. I don't add everyone on Facebook like you do. I would never post news of any personal kind. Let the world mind its own business, and I'll mind mine. It's not really that I'm antisocial. It's just that I'm not that vocal. but Facebook is where I will stay, just in case the time does come when I do have something to say. This one is another humorous one. It's called God's Got His Cool Side, too. And I preface it with a quote from Scripture, Genesis 2:2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. So here's this poem. God's got his cool side too. He likes to kick back and chill. He likes to spend time alone, but we're always on his prayer phone. So I'm just saying, give the Lord a break. Take your troubles elsewhere. Give God a minute to relax, or at least a moment to spare. It's not easy when you're in charge of running things everywhere. This one is one of the more interesting poems that I have written lately. It came about because of a dream I had during an afternoon nap, and you know how most of your dreams you don't think much of and let them pass, but there are some dreams that you have that stick with you and you say, what does this mean? You know, it makes a deep impression on you. So this is called Vision of a Swan. From a dark, threatening sky, a white swan descends, wings outspread, hovering just above my head. So enormous in size, he fills my field of vision. Common dreams come and go, vanish like the mist of a summer morning. But what am I to make of this? Bad omen or the path to bliss? This bird of legend, myth and legend, who will not disappear, but so stubbornly persist in memory and imagination. This one is poetry at the discount store. On these crowded shelves, next to a stack of almanacs, those heavy tomes so full of numbers and facts, is where even the work of the best poets comes to rest as remainders, where their poems wait in patient silence to speak to us and share their new revelations of heaven and earth. This is October at the Orchard Farm. Children chased a scared pot-bellied pig through the barn and around the long line, waiting at the open doors for hot from the oven cider donuts. Swarms of yellow jackets buzzed low over pots of gold and purple mums and customers with cupless cider, who nervously swat the air in hopeless self-defense. Pumpkins lie in jumbled piles, waiting to be bought for pies or to sit candlelit as jack-o'-lanterns on someone's doorstep. The early sunset brings a chill to the air and thoughts of home to the crowd. When the last car leaves the lot, deer creep from the woods as silently as the moonlight covering the barnyard, searching for apple peels or crumbs, for some scrap of sweetness that will linger on their tongues. And one final one, which seems appropriate for the season, poem for Halloween. It's really quite a scream, this scary holiday scene. Goblins and ghosts walk the streets, little boys and girls looking for treats. They go from door to door hoping to haunt and scare, afraid of the dark themselves in case some monster is hiding there. Tonight they're all playing Let's Pretend, but on the street they can recognize their friends. There's Harry Potter, whose real name is John. When Spider-Man laughs, he sounds just like Sean. Sleeping Beauty has Judy's cute smile. And Peter Pan is really little Kyle. Home safe at last, they may choose one treat to eat. Then little feet up the stairs to sleep. Then Judy cries, "There's a monster under my bed." Dad turns on the light, and suddenly with a grin, out pops Johnny's head. Thank you.